So these trading companies, they establish their trading post in different part of the country. The English East India Company established its trading post in Calcutta at the time in 1651, and that is called a factory. So factory means that is a place which was fortified by the English East India Company, and where there is the warehouses, or you can say the godowns, and that is used to preserve whatever the goods those are purchased from the Indian market, and then those are exported to the European countries and to their mother country. And certain official work also performed in that particular place. So that is called the factory. So these new terms you must have to know. First of all, I told you what is the meaning of Farman, what is the meaning of mercantile, then what is factory. So all these type of terms you must have to know from this particular chapter. So the trading, that was the main purpose of the English East India Company, and the trade was carried on with the arms, and trading posts were protected through the fortification. Fortification means that is the company will have to protected that particular place that where their trading activities will have to perform. So then East India Company begins trade in Bengal. East India Company established its factory on the river bank of Hooghly in 1651. Factory that is called the warehouse, where the goods are stored for export, and the offices where company officials sat. So with the expand in the trade, company persuaded the merchants and the traders to settle near the factory. So 2 years later, it bribed the Mughal officials in giving the co-jamindari rights over 3 villages, persuaded the Emperor Aurangzeb to issue a farman granting the company to trade duty-free. So officials of the company carried on private trade, which they refused to pay duty, resulting in the loss of revenue for Bengal. So Murshid Quli Khan, the Nawab of Bengal at the time, was protected against this. So farman means that is the royal edict or the royal order which was given by Mughal Emperor to the English East India Company to trade in Bengal duty free. So these 3 terms you must know. First of all, that is called the charter. Number 2, mercantile, then farman, and another one that is called factory. So these 4 terms you must have to understand. Again, I want to explain all these 4 terms. Charter, that is the royal order given by the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth I, to the English East India Company to trade with India exclusively. Number 2, that is called the mercantile. That is one type of a business according to which the trading companies will have to purchase the goods as cheap as possible from the Indian market and to sell it as higher price as possible in the European market, including England. The next is, I told you, that is fortification or the factory. Factory means a place where the company established its company's warehouse and where the goods will have to store and export to the European countries, and where the traders will have to do certain official work. So company officials will also have to sit in the factory and do the official work. So in this sense, you must have to know that factory will have to perform 2 work. First of all, it is work as a warehouse for the company, and number 2, as a office for the company officials. Then I told you what is the meaning of a farman. Farman, that is granted by the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to the English East India Company to trade freely without paying any taxes to the concerned government, and that is at the time the Bengal Nawab Murshid Quli Khan. So after the death of Aurangzeb, who carved out a new province and a new kingdom, and which is called Awadh, that is called Bengal. So in this way, we can say that the English East India Company established its trading post in Bengal. So then how this trade led to the battles? So this is the beginning of the political history of the English East India. So the East India Company defeated all the European powers, the company of France, Dutch, Portuguese. So all the competitors, European competitors, those were eliminated by the English East India Company, and now the English East India Company established its monopoly. So after the establishment of the trade monopoly by the English East India Company, so now English East India Company started to interfere in the political affairs of the local rulers, and also the local rulers. So now they want to eliminate these foreign powers from their land, and in this regard, the first initiative that was taken by the Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Dowla, and for which the famous significant battle that was fought between the English East India Company and the Nawab of Siraj-ud-Dowla, and which is called the Battle of Plassey in 1757. So this is the first battle in which the English East India Company became victorious, and after the victory, the company now able to enter in the political arena of India. So this battle opened the political door of India. So after this, one after another, Britishers, they started to defeat the Indian rulers, and within 100 years, that is from 1757 to 1857, Britishers, they established their paramountcy or their political domination all over India. So then we have to discuss that what the interesting political event that is called the Battle of Plassey, and why this battle it was broke out, and you can say the circumstances responsible for the outbreak of the Battle of Plassey. So after the death of Aurangzeb in 1707, so you know that there are so many regional kingdoms those that emerged in different parts of India, and one of them is Bengal, Murshid Quli Khan, so who founded the new kingdom that is called Bengal. So after Murshid Quli Khan, so then the Alivardi Khan became the Nawab of Bengal, and after Alivardi Khan, so then the Siraj-ud-Dowla became the Nawab of Bengal. So when Siraj-ud-Dowla became the Nawab, so he was intolerant towards the East India Company's activities. So now when he was declared as the Nawab, so he started to restrict the movement and the trade of the East India Company in Bengal. So these are the circumstances that I am going to explain now, which are responsible for the outbreak of this Battle of Plassey. So first of all, Nawab now refused to give any type of trade concessions or political concessions to the company. But on the other hand, company became very confident. Do you know what is the reason? Because East India Company able to defeat all other European trading companies, and after defeating all these trading companies in India. So English East India Company became very confident. So that's why whatever the order that was given by Nawab of Bengal, so now the company started to violate one after another, and which was not tolerated by Sirajudollah. So Sirajudollah now refused to give any type of concession to the company and demanded large tributes, that the company should have to give more taxes to the Nawab of Bengal, Sirajudollah, and the right to trade, the restriction that was also put before them, and denied to mint coins by the English East India Company in India. And also Sirajudollah asked the East India Company to stop the further fortification, and all these orders of Nawab of Bengal, Sirajudollah, that was not followed by the English East India Company. So as a result of which, the trade of the company was flourished only if the duties were removed, and then this led towards the conflict that is called the famous Battle of Plassey, and which was broke out in June 1757. And this battle is considered as a landmark in the history of India, because this battle will have to start the political activities of the English East India Company. And the English East India Company, though they have very less number of soldiers, their forces, those are not compared with Sirajudollah, but they are using their diplomatic skill, and which help to defeat the British or the English East India Company easily. So when in 1757 Alivardi Khan was died, then Sirajudollah became the Nawab, and the company want a puppet ruler. Puppet means a ruler who will have to work according to the tuning of the company. So they want to establish such a ruler who will have to work as per the requirement or as per the need of the company. So Sirajudollah was an independent-minded ruler, and who didn't want to remain under the domination of the English East India Company. So now Sirajudollah considered that the English East India Company, the presence of East India Company in his territory, became a greater political threat to his kingdom. So that's why he asked the company to stop all the activities. And when the company denied to follow the instructions of Sirajudollah, so at last Sirajudollah marched with 30,000 soldiers to the English factory which was established at Qasim Bazaar, and captured the company officials, locked the warehouses, and disarmed the Englishmen. And there is the famous incident that was took place, that is called the Black Hole Tragedy, and it is described by the English historians at the time that Sirajudollah want to give a lesson to these Britishers. So that's why when he attacked and defeated the English East India Company at Qasim Bazaar, so he had captured the officials and kept them in a very small size room, and where 146 English or the Britishers, so they are kept for a night. So due to suffocation, the people they were died, and this is called one type of massacre. And the Britishers, so they consider this is a black day for them, and Sirajudollah was greatly condemned, and Sirajudollah criticized by the English East India Company and to take revenge of this particular event. So now English East India Company started to invite Robert Clive, the British official who worked in Madras. So when he arrived in Calcutta, so he had taken the commandership and he launched the military campaign against Sirajuddaula, and before that he first of all organized one diplomacy, and where he able to subjugate Mir Jafar, the commander-in-chief of Sirajuddaula, because Britishers are very cunning and they want that Mir Jafar will have to, if Mir Jafar will be properly negotiate with them, so then they have given that type of things to Mir Jafar, that after Sirajuddaula, so he will be appointed as the Nawab. So then Mir Jafar, who accepted this type of proposal of the English East India Company, and he assured that he will be organized the betray against Sirajuddaula. So this is skirmish, or you can say a betray, which was adopted by Mir Jafar, helped to defeat Sirajuddaula, and with a very handful of defense forces, Robert Clive's cunningness, and able to defeat the mighty defense forces of Sirajuddaula. So Mir Jafar was well trained and asked not to attack on or give any command to the soldiers of Sirajuddaula. So at last, so these soldiers were attacked badly by the British army, and who are started to run here and stay there, and which created situation like stampede, that so many soldiers so there died